This is Algebra 2, Lecture 825 and 26, Standard OAS 821. Student will factor polynomials. That's what we're going to do. Now factoring just means taking something and breaking it up into two parts or more, such that if you multiply those two together, you'll get what you started with. For instance, if I said factor the number 6, you could say, well, 2 times 3. Those are factors of 6 because 2 times 3 is 6. Or you can tell me 1 times 6. 1 times 6 is 6. So these are the factors of 6. We're going to take polynomial expressions and find factors such that if I multiply them together, I'll get what I started with. Okay? Well, that's the plan for today. Let's take a look at what we're doing. We're going to factor completely, starting out with what's called a quadratic trinomial. Quadratic just means that the highest power of the variables is 2. Okay? Trinomial means that there are 3 terms. The terms are separated by plus signs or minus signs. These are all, there's a plus sign. Okay, so what we're going to do is try to find the factors of this thing. Here we go. I'm going to open up 2 sets of parentheses. Here's the technique that I use. If this is a 1, which it is, there's an implied or an invisible 1 right here. And that will be the case every time today. If this is a 1, we take the square root of this one. That's the thing that's being multiplied by itself, in this case b. b times b is b squared. We put it here and here. Then we take factors of 10. Those are numbers that I can multiply together to give me 10. For instance, 10 and 1 or 2 and 5. If I take factors of 10 that will add together or subtract to give me 3. Well, I know that that would be 5 and 2. Doesn't matter where I put the 5 and where I put the 2. I could put the 5 here and the 2 here. That doesn't matter. What matters is when I add them together, they have to give me -3. And the only way that can happen is if the 5 is negative and the 2 is positive. If I add these two together, -5 plus 2, I get -3. And if I multiply them together, I get -10. -5 times 2 is -10. And that's the test to see if you've got it factored correctly. If I multiply this times this using FOIL, and then combine my like terms, I'll get this. So these are the factors of that quadratic trinomial. It's a binomial times a binomial. And I want to let you know that it doesn't matter what order we put our factors in. We could write this correct answer like this and it would still be correct. Just like 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 2 is 6. The order of the factors doesn't matter. Okay, so either one of these is correct unless I've made a mistake. And let me see if I got the answer right. Should have a key around here somewhere. b plus 2, b minus 5. The quantity b plus 2 times the quantity b minus 5. All right. Let's take a look at another one. Here are variables v. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I see that my leading coefficient, that's what we call the number multiplied by the highest power of our variable, the leading coefficient, is 1. So I can go ahead and try to factor it. It'll either factor or it won't. I'm going to take the square root of this one and put it here and here. And then I'm going to look for factors of 32. That's numbers I can multiply together to give me 32. That will either add or subtract to give me a 4. So I know 32 times 1 won't work because I can't get a 4 if I add or subtract those. 2 times 16 won't work because 16 plus 2 is 18, 16 minus 2 is 14. 8 times 4 is 32, and I can add or subtract those and get 4. So I'm going to try that, 8 and 4. Doesn't matter where I put them. I can put the 8 here and the 4 here. What matters is that they have to add up to -4. And the only way I can add these two numbers together to give me -4 is if the 8 is negative and the 4 is positive. Now I do a quick check. I ask myself, is -8 times +4 -32? Yes. Is -8 plus +4 -4? Yes. So if I add them together and get this number and multiply them and get this number, I know I've got it factored correctly. And once again, it doesn't matter which order the factors appear in. V plus 4 times, V plus 4 times the quantity V minus 8 has the same value for any V as V minus 8 times V plus 4. These are the same. And now let's see if I got it right. Yay, got it right. 2 in a row. I'm on a roll. Let's take a look at another one. Got a little red dot there. Whoop. There we go. I'm going to try to do the same thing. I've got a quadratic trinomial. I'm going to open up 2 sets of parentheses. Take the square root of this one and put it here and here because my leading coefficient is an implied or an invisible 1. I can do that. We'll talk about what happens if it's not a 1 later. But all of ours today will be 1s. And then I look for factors of 4 that add up to 3. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, but 2 plus 2 or 2 minus 2 won't give me a 3. 4 and 1 will work though. 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So I'm going to try 4 and 1. When I add these together, I want to get negative 3. The only way that can happen is if my 4 is negative and my 1 is positive. And then I do my quick check. I make sure that negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. If it isn't, I've made a mistake, and it is. And then negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. So they multiply together to give me this term, add together to give me this term, this coefficient, and that means I'm good. I'm done. This would be my answer if I was looking for a multiple choice answer. I would pick this one. If this one wasn't there, it would look like this. The order of the binomial factors, the order of the factors doesn't matter. This and this have the same value. Okay? Let's see if I got that one right. X minus 4 times x plus 1. X minus 4, the quantity, times the quantity x plus 1. So yay. All right, we're going to look at one more and we'll be finished. Hopefully I won't mess it up. If I do, I'll apologize in advance. I see I've got a quadratic trinomial. I'm going to try to factor it. My leading coefficient is a 1, so I can take the square root of this one. Square root of b squared is b. Put it here and here. Factors of 20 that add up to 8. Well, 1 and 20 won't work. They won't add up to 8. 2 and 10 will add up to 8. So I'm going to try 2 and 10 and see if I can get them to add up to 8 and multiply together to give me negative 20. Well, they'll add up to a positive 8 as long as 10 is positive and 2 is negative. I can add these two together and get positive 8. So far so good. Now I ask myself, can I multiply them together and give me negative 20? And I can. So I'm done. I factored it successfully. And I got to remember that I could have written it like this. If you're taking a multiple choice quiz and you get this for the answer and this is how it's written, they have the same value. If you get this and your answer choice is this, pick this one. B plus 10 times B minus 2. The order of the factors doesn't matter. And let's see if I got it right. B minus 2 times the quantity B plus 10. B minus 2 times the quantity B plus 10. So there we have it. We are factoring polynomials. Specifically, we're factoring quadratic trinomials. And that's how we're going to do it for this upcoming worksheet. You can do this.